edition of 23rd August 2021. I request that when you join in, as usual, please like. When you like, I get to know that you're watching us. And that way, like, please share. When you share, you give someone else an opportunity to watch the broadcast. This is a tackle that it begins now. Lakini kama kawaida, kabla tujaingia sana, lazima tuombe. You know how things work here. Lazima tuende tuombe, alafu tukirudi na kuja kuwapa salamu zenu. Naona mwamka mapema tayari kabisa. Since some guys are coming in here. But anyway, let's pray. And then when you come in, we're going to start off. Alafu niwaambie pia, dada naona mgeni yuko hapi pale. Naona salamu zenu zinawaendea. Zinamwendea. Aya, mighty Father, we come before you this morning. We worship you, glorify your name. Thank you for another opportunity to be alive this morning. We thank you for the new week. We thank you for everything that's ahead of us today. We even thank you for this program. As we start this show, we pray that everything that you're going to speak may it edify the fabric of this nation and its people. As we start to be with us, when we finish, glory and honor shall come back to your name. Even the tacklers who are joining us this morning, we meet them at the point of individual needs, because I pray, trusting and believing in Jesus' name. Amen and amen. Asante sana. Mamuka hapa. Karoki wa Masi anasema watching the show from Kayole. Asante sana Karoki. Adam JT, good morning to you. Jimmy Gakio, good morning Team Tackle. David Bed, good morning Bitok, watching the show from LD. Asante. Mwangi Simon Gasman anasema in from day. Asante sana to one day. Good morning to you Mwangi Sami Gasman. Eric Mwangi Ngigi, CEO Maridadi Motors, anasema greetings to the Tackle family. Best show start the week. Asante sana ndugu yangu, good to see you this morning. Evans Komen, good morning. Jared Kipkembai Ruto, morning. Gerard Bitok, good morning to you. Mwangi Gasman anasema good morning from there. Asante. PK Kimuta anasema getting you live and clear from my hideout after with everybody lost. Yeah. By now Anjoki, New Jersey locked null and void. Okay, Gibet Edwin Childomo, good morning, tuned in Westlands. Asante sana William Mwangi, good morning team, tuned in on my way back to work. Asante sana, karibu sana. Jeb Kiriko, good morning Bitok, watching you live from Nairobi Industrial Area. Boniface Kibiego, good morning Team Tackle. Sijui natazama kutoka wapi. Kipkoech Langat live from Garissa. Asante sana tu wa Garissa. It is a Common Sense edition and we are live with Mr. Joseph CHOGE, the CEO of PEPTANG. Watu wanajua PEPTANG kuliko Premier Foods. Exactly. So the CEO of PEPTANG, that is Premier Foods on Babadogo in Nairobi. Kama umeona juice inaitwa Hochid pale, kuna nyingine inaitwa dawa siku hizi, mtaiona zaidi hapa. Tukianza kuzungumza probably atatupea kazi very soon, mtaanza kuiona hapa sana. But we are Joseph CHOGE, CEO PEPTANG ama CEO Premier Foods, and we're going to have a conversation around him as a person, the things he achieved. He just turned 40. I also want to know, how does it feel like turning 40? And also is going to tell us about what he's been doing out here and what are the things that we should be looking out for from PEPTANG and from Premier Foods. Tatuambia nini naenda kuiona, what innovation are we waiting for? Then we see what happens as we move forward. We're going to have this conversation. If you have any questions that concerns business and your life, please tutumie maswali mengine leo hatuhitaji. Leo mnajua biashara, Monday ni biashara tupu, and also talking about your life. Lakini tuenda masokoni kidogo tulipe madeni, alafu tukirudi tunaingia kazini. Sijui kama soko iko tayari pale. Taanza na watu wangu Maridadi Motors Sacco gives you an opportunity to import your vehicles. If you're planning to import a car, you can import through Maridadi Motors. Direct imports by Maridadi Motors gives you an opportunity to save up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings. You don't get such a deal anywhere else. When you import directly with Maridadi Motors, you get to save up to 300,000 Kenyan shillings. Ukiingiza direct gari na gari yako inafika kwenye wakati safi zaidi. You don't get stuck on the road. Na pia Maridadi Motors Sacco inakupa nafasi ya kuweza kuweka akiba. If you want to save, either you're saving for a unit or you're saving as an investment, you can save with Maridadi Motors Sacco. And when you want to get a unit, you get a unit at 50%. Kama gari ni 1 million, you save 500,000 Kenyan shillings, then unapata gari yako alafu unaanza kuendesha polepole ukiweza kulipia. And if you're also saving for investment, you can save on Maridadi Motors Sacco and you get one up to 15% per annum on your investment. This is what we call the direct import or import to sell model, investment model by Maridadi Motors. This is what happens. You import a car on your name with your money. They do it for you. They sell it for you, and you also get one up to 15% returns on your investment. That is Maridadi Motors. You can import directly and get to save up to 300,000 Kenyan cents. Maridadi import to sell model also gives you an opportunity to invest your money and get one up to 15%. If you also want to save for a unit, you can save at Maridadi Motors Sacco. Alafu basi unaweza kupata gari yako kwa njia shwari zaidi. Na ukienda pale Siata Mall pia, pale Siata Mall nyuma, unapata kuna car wash inaitwa Sparkling Motor Spa, also by Maridadi, and you get an opportunity kuweza kungarishiwa gari yako. Kama pia umenunua gari na uko na ile sticker inaitwa Lana, you can go to school at Maridadi Driving Academy, where you get the best training that can never be. Maridadi Driving Academy gives you an opportunity to be the best driver on these streets. Usiende tu kuchukua gari alafu unaanza kusonga barabarani na sticker ya Lana. Anyway, also Rexer Roofing, we are building there could be no better way, because when you're doing a roof as a legacy. You do it once. Sijaisikia mtu anaweka roof na kuanua jioni, unaanika na kuanua jioni. Kwa hivyo Rexa Roofing inakupa quality roofing shingles. When you roof with shingles, you get better cover. I guarantee you 50 years. I don't know if most of us will be around for 50 years. But anyway, they give you a guarantee of 50 years on the products that they sell. And they'll be on site for 10 years. Anything that happens on your roof within the 10 years, they'll be able to help you and ensure that your roof looks good and the best way. If you also want to harvest water, you can get UPVC water harvesting cutters from them. Alafu basi, unaweza kuchukua maji kwa njia shwari zaidi. If you're doing waterproofing, they also give you waterproofing materials kama ni membrane ama pia liquid waterproofing materials. That is by Rexa Roofing. Rexa Roofing, roofing your world. You can visit them at www.rexaroofing.com. Ama unaweza kupigia simu kwa nambari ambayo iko pale kwenye screen, alafu mambo inakuwa safi zaidi. If you want to load airtime, Swift Airtime KE na kupa nafasi ya kuweza kuweka airtime kwa njia rahisi zaidi. Enda pale kwa paybill number and business number 325325, alafu account number na nambari yako ya simu. Kama ni kama yangu ya studio, unaenda pale unaweka 325325, alafu account number unaweka 0779800110. Swift Airtime, best deals on airtime, 5% on every load. Alafu mwisho ni watu wa mzigo pale. Kama uko na delivery unataka kufanya Nairobi, nambari iko pale kwenye screen. You can do your delivery using Zigo. You ask and they deliver. Haya, acha turudi pale nyumbani. Naona kuna watu fika pia Lawi hata mnakuwa na anasema my neighbor Arab Choge huko Namgoi Trans Nzoia, amwambie amsalimie Kogo. Asalimie sijui ni Kogo ama ni Gogo. Asalimie Gogo. Hiyo ni Lawi. Jaraf Shali na good morning GB, good morning to you. Judah, good morning to Tackle Grid. Joseph Choge is an inspiration. Asante sana. Smasha Ashavin, good morning. Gerald Bitok, asante sana. Mzee mwenyewe Paul anasema good morning GB and the Tackle Show. Thanks for visiting your constituency Mwebeno over the weekend. Asante sana. Boni Okemwa anasema good morning to you Gerald. I'm watching from Kitui County. Keep up the good work. I really appreciate it. Asante sana Boni. It's good to see you. Peter Lumanade, good morning. Gerald Bitok from the house of PEPTANG. Wow, asante sana Lumanade. Karibu sana. Brian Luciano anasema good morning. Brian from Kagamega. Mateo Evans anasema from Kitale, good morning Gerald Bitok. One of the best show in Kenya. Viva Kiongozi. Asante sana. Nana mgeni Evans Keche Rutoi anasema good morning Mr. Bitok watching from Nakuru. Asante Kipto Victor tuned in Gerald. Asante sana. Gideon Kimutai, good morning GB and all the tacklers. Good to see you guys. Aya, wacha tuingie kazi direct. Mashare wa Gitaiga anasema good morning kijana. Asante sana, good morning ndugu yangu all the way from diaspora. Munga alita continue. Umechelewa sana leo kidogo. Asante morning team Tackle tuning in from Coventry United Kingdom. Good to be part of this morning Common Sense edition. Asante sana. Mr. Choge, good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
Very well. How are you?
Happy birthday again.
Thank you.
Where is our ampa?
No, I should be asking where is my M-Pesa.
Nilitumana bwana. Wewe kukufikia. Na jamani nilipata nikamwambia shika hii. Fikisha kwa Chage.
Hiyo haikufika.
Basha haikufika. But it's good to see you.
Good to see you. Yeah.
So maybe I'll give you an opportunity to introduce yourself to this tacklers, these ladies and gentlemen that keep watching us every morning.
Yeah. All right. So, like you rightly said, Joseph Choge is my name. I lead a great company called Premier Foods Limited. One of those companies where the brand name is bigger than the company name. So, PEPTANG,
very interesting. Yeah.
PEPTANG is our brand. I mean, taking the market by storm in various aspects, right? Besides the leadership in the company, I'm a father to beautiful children and a husband to one beautiful girl called Brenda. Yep. That's me. And what more would you want to know about Joseph today?
How does it feel turning 40?
It actually feels good. I feel energetic. I feel like life has just begun. And when I was reflecting, I saw somebody had written 50 things to live by what he lived by for the last 50 years. I was thinking about my 40 for the last 40, and I'm thinking I'm so grateful for where I am and just barely scratching the surface. Ndio tumeanza.
You're scratching the surface ama uko you ready? Ulishachimba bwana.
Bado.
It's also scratching the surface.
Bado. So I just feel like life has just begun. Lots to achieve. The next 40 is going to be amazing, So my next 10 is the acceleration path now because I've already just taken off cruising altitude to Bomoe tuone how it
ushaingia cruise mode.
Tumefika cruise mode. Tuko highway mbaya.
So anyway, most people every time said there are two things that happen on each party day.
Yeah.
First of all, you're happy that yes, you are alive. But then again, it eats you that you're also growing old. In retrospect, is there something that you turning 40 has done to you that you're like, maybe you thought you should have achieved something before that? Is that really something that you thought maybe you should have done before turning 40?
Yeah.
Or are you scared?
Actually, when I look back at my life, I'm really grateful for to God for bringing me this far. Probably the achievements I've managed to achieve over the period of time, within that lifespan, you would always want to. Heck, when you're a kid and you're thinking money is everything, right? You want to be a billionaire by the time you're 40 and all that stuff. Then you realize you're just grateful for the simple things. The gift of family. Your family unit is working. Your career is flourishing. What more do I need? I'm good. I thank God.
Hiyo ndio unaita sasa scratching the surface.
Hiyo ndio scratching the surface sasa.
Sasa kuchimba ni gani? If that is scratching the surface. Kuchimba ni gani?
Kuchimba sasa is for me, it's about legacy.
Okay.
Yeah, what as I mature in my space, how have I uplifted the community behind me? Touched that kid, inspire another young leader to come, and take over the future of business. Have we supported, people who have full potential and probably don't get that opportunity? One thing I think is in the public domain is that I went to a primary school called Lokichar Primary School in Turkana. And, bare feet and all that stuff, eating relief food.
Wow.
And last year I went back to Lokichar to just see where, and I'm just looking at a kid there who probably would never get the opportunity of coming out of this place unless supported. So that's the kind of thing that is now, when I wake up into my 40s and now into 40, and I'm thinking, what more can I do to uplift such a kid? A sort of my middle name is Malel. So I normally say, I think about a Malel Foundation that just supports education, because I'm actually a product of what education has done. Without probably pursuing education, I'd probably be nowhere today. I would not be meeting Gerald today, Yeah, so I believe there's so much opportunity in education, and if there's anything I can do within my powers, I may not be able to be, Melinda and Bill Gates Foundation to be able to carry everyone, but whatever little I can do to inspire even one or bring up two, then that for me is would be the climax of getting into 40. Yeah.
So then it feels like when you now listening to you talk about this, one who don't know, then it means your life has been a journey, and there could be things that push you. What are some of those things that have inspired you to be the man that you? What drives you? What makes you wake up every day?
Yeah, say for example, in the office today, every day I wake up is another day for that farmer to bring tomatoes to our plant, right? It means every time we push the teams to work to be able to increase our yields, to increase output to the market, to increase market share, and probably even do a lot of exports of our products. It means somewhere down there's a mama or a baba whose product we're able to take a little bit more, probably at a better price. So that for me really inspires me, because somebody has mentioned there from Namgo in Kibagenge in Kitale. Yeah, shamba ndogo where you plant a little bit of this and a little bit of that. That's what takes some kids to school, Yeah, so that for me is my inspirational every day. But from a family point, seeing my kids, just jumping around, going to school, I can be able to give them a good life. Yeah, probably better than what I had. And the mistakes probably we normally do nowadays is you want to overcompensate. By trying to give them a very smooth life. I would really be careful about that, very wary. But then sometimes you just find yourself spoiling them, which is consciously you need to know that it's the hard stuff in life that actually built us to be where we are today. Taking that uji in Turkana and 3 biscuits, for example, for lunch or dinner, I mean, I was like grinding so that I have to come out of this, to get to be able to get a better future.
There's something to beat.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I have to beat this, and that in itself is a big driver, and it hardens you so that when you meet life and you get challenges in life, then I mean, what you've beaten the odds coming to where you are today. So nothing should really stop you. So if we tend to spoil our kids today, tomorrow if they meet any challenge, they'll start crying. I mean, they don't know difficulty.
It shatters them.
Yeah, exactly. It just shatters them. So the question is, how do you build that resilience? How do you make them hungry to grow and make them, responsible to be able to meet their life challenges? So sometimes running from poverty is a
is a serious motivation.
yeah.
I don't have to take it back there to how you grew up.
Yeah.
But I just remembered we have a birthday girl. There's a girl called Lucia Ayala. I don't know if you've seen her somewhere. Happy birthday, Lucia Ayala. That's our girl from Bunyore, Western Kenya. She's been a great resource to the tackle. So happy birthday, Lucia Ayala, as you turn 30. Now, 10 years apart.
Yeah, 10 years,
She's turning 30 today. Happy birthday, Lucia Ayala, and wish you the best that life could get. Makofi yako umepata pale. Happy birthday. Happy birthday, Lucia Ayala. Wish you all the very best returns of the day. And also as you turn 30, it's a point of reflection. I remember there was nothing as scary as me turning 30. And it scared me.
Oh, really?
It scared me because everyone talks about 30.
Yeah.
We all talk about things that we should be, 20 feels nice,
Yeah.
20 something, I'm 20 something, I'm 27, I'm 28, I'm 29. Then it hits you that the next thing is 30. And it's a defining moment because it defines a lot of things. It defines where you fall, maybe in your finances, where you fall in your responsibilities, maybe also talk about family. There's a lot of things. Also, your expectations from you go high, from society, from people and all that. So I think it's I don't know, but I think it's the scariest year to turn.
Oh, yeah.
And but again, I think it comes a lot of reflection on who you are as a person, and you start looking at life very differently. It's an awakener. Tells you that, man, you need to be doing shit differently, for lack of a better word. So turning 30 was a bit scary. I saw Lucia, but don't get scared. We are here. We've gone before you. It looks good on this other side. I'm looking at my brother CHOGE, who is at 40, and he's telling me it doesn't look really bad. 40 looks good. It says it's where you put on cruise. Cruise feels nice on the road. It means there's no obstruction. The highway is clear. So you just need to put in at 120, then maybe you can just chill on the road as you look at the horizons. So 30 as well is where life, I think for me, is where decisions begin, is where you start thinking about how you want going to secure your future, thinking about how you're going to settle down your life and all that. So it doesn't feel very bad here. CHOGE tells me 40 doesn't feel very bad either. We look for someone who is 50. I don't know if there's someone you've had who is in 50 who has told you what's going on at 50, but you can assure a sister, but 30 and 40 doesn't look really bad. Karibu sana. Welcome to the 30s, and we wish you all the very best. May God do the best for you. So now, sir, I'd like to take you back to Kibagenge, Namgoi, or Lokichar.
Yeah.
And most of us, I hear people sometimes when you make a statement, they'll be like, growing up with things being done for you, you've not known, you don't shida, man, and people tend to see the CHOGE now. Nobody thinks about the struggle. We all want to have the good things. We never want to think about the things that people, the price you have to pay for the good things. And I'd like to go back there. How was it like growing up for you? I mean, where have you come from?
So, actually, growing up was fun. When you don't know PlayStations, you don't know this stuff. You do the natural things. You slide on the matope, jump on trees and all that stuff. It's amazing. Kuchunga ng'ombe, I would go to the agricultural farms, you take cows there, look after them, and coming back, I hope my mom is not listening. You would one of the cows, the lazy one, unashika mkia hivi inakuvuruta mpaka home.
Hapo unapanda kondo.
So it was so much fun. Taught you a lot of responsibility, while young, because unakuja funge ukamue, and do all that stuff when you're still pretty young. So I think shapes you to take on anything in life. And I would encourage fellow parents, especially us young parents, to sibembeleze watoi sana. Let them feel responsibility. Let them make responsible. I know we are in Nairobi probably, or in towns nowadays, and there are hakuna ng'ombe ati sijui kufanya nini, but there are different chores or things that these children can be able to do to just make them more responsible and not just spoiling them with everything you got. So I had very strict parents. my mzee, wow. That guy could clobber you. Ukijua
azikona fikira ndio kukuua.
By the way, mpaka ulikuwa unaenda unafikiria mzee ananipenda kweli. Mimi ni mtoto wake.
Huyu ni babangu kama kuna kitu sijaambiwa.
Kuna kitu sijaambiwa. The mzee was fire. So ukijua umefanya kitu mbaya hata usikam home. Wewe zungukia huko kwa boma huko, ngoja walale ndio ukam. Bure ile mangumi utaona. So actually that kind of my wife normally says, you were abused as a child. Ulilimwa sana. But I'm saying that is what instilled the level of responsibility. Because mimi ni hardcore. Hata ukinigonga sisikii.
Tujaribu.
So life brings out usikuja na mangumi. So whatever life brings to you, you've handled, you've been through it all. Toka hapo uende Lokichar, unaenda to some desert and it's in the middle of nowhere. I actually went with my bro, Timo. And I mean, life was, you just zoea, you don't know better, Yeah, you zoea, you eat whatever is there, soma, but
but how did you end up in Lokichar?
I was a bit of
a... you a refugee? Or you ran away from the Bangumi?
Kijana mtundu kidogo. Hii unaambiwa ufanye nini, Baba akasema tuma Guantanamo Bay. So that's how I ended up in Lokichar. So Timo, my bro, was a victim of my problems. Yeah, so he had to come with me. But today I look back at that journey and it probably shaped my character as well. To appreciate the little things you have in life. Even the other day when I was going, I took my wife there. I just wanted her to see the journey as well. And wow, it was such an humbling experience. And I look at, watu kwa ground and I'm like, and we were here, we were here. And so it sometimes, pains me that there are sections of, Kenyans probably not getting the full privilege of what needs to come out of, all the government policies that help uplift different communities, right? Yeah, not to say that the government has not done much. I mean, all these things of money trickling down to counties and all that stuff has really uplifted. The place is much different now. But there's more that can still be done. There's more that can still be done. And we need to bring out as many children because through education, I'm telling you, is how we'll enrich those communities. Yeah, let the kids come out. Let them come, tap to either where money is in the bigger towns or outside the country and be able to take back and build home.
Okay. Yeah. So let's move it a bit. So how did you get out of that place now? Utokaje Lokichar, ukafikaje hapa ambaye tunaona CHOGE hapa?
Yeah. So I finished class 8 at Lokichar and I was called to a school in Kericho, Litain, called Litain High. So I did Litain High from 1 to from 4. Funny thing is I was doing everything in high school. I was in drama, I was a basketball player, I was a leading in cheering squad,
That is the best thing about crooks. They turn out right.
I'm telling you. In fact, the biggest advice I would give to anyone, the social skills are very important in cracking life. Yeah, you can be a bookworm, get your A's and everything, but if the interpersonal skills is not there,
it's difficult to make a move in life.
to make it, to manage in this world today, because it's all about negotiation. It's all about relationships. That things happen in this country. Even where I work today, for things to move, if it's talking to government authorities, to regulatory bodies and things like that, it's that interpersonal relationship that helps to open doors for the business. So that in itself is, so that's what I nurtured, probably much of it in high school. Did almost everything.
Majorly Lokichar.
Yeah. I only became, I think, serious in form 3, form 4. Now nikajua sasa nikutafuta campo. You need to enter the campus. So I did well. Entered University of Nairobi. So there was a stint between University of Nairobi, form 4 and University of Nairobi, which I'll tell you later about selling milk.
I also sold milk.
Yeah.
Okay.
You sold milk?
I sold milk.
Very good. So that's the birds of a feather. So I joined the UON. I did a BSc in mathematics at Chiromo. And it's in that class that I saw a beautiful girl.
Brenda.
Hey, sasa watu wanasoma wanang'ang'ana mimi
Uko zako.
nimecheki tu. Yeah, and probably 17 18 years later of relationship. I think we've been married now 12 13 years in October.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah, from second year mpaka leo bana. That's the best friend I've known.
Nini mabeshte.
Yeah, mbaya sana. So yeah, that's we met in that class. So at the same time I was trying to put, so when I did BSc in mathematics, I was asking myself, you are BSc in mathematics, what do you do? Unaenda kupiga hesabu wapi kwa barabara? You know, so I needed to, because I really wanted to do BCom, and I think my marks couldn't be satisfactory to do BCom or something. Yeah, but I was asking myself, if I take BSc in mathematics, what am I gonna do? That's probably the biggest mistake kids do nowadays. You do some courses and you don't plan yourself from there.
You don't think ahead.
Today, some guys give me a CV na muuliza nikuweke wapi? Kusaidie aje? Because I don't know where to place you, because you don't have a professional guidance of where you want it to go. So that's when I decided to do CPA myself.
Okay.
I did CPA and CPS while in campus, finished those ones. So that when you go to the table, recruitment table, I give my degree, somebody else gives his degree. What is my edge? I probably bring my CPA. Another guy from Kabete, Pesa, brings CPA. Then I unleash my CPS. This is the potential guy. You know, just positioning yourself to be a little bit better, have an edge. That's what I would encourage anyone, especially young ones listening. How do you differentiate yourself? How do you give yourself an edge to be able to outpace the market?
Yeah, what is the extra oil?
What is the extra thing that differentiates you from the next guy? You know, things like that. Then internships. I did an internship at Barclays while still in Campo and things like that. So that by the time you come to the table, it's not a big deal to secure that first. And once you secure the first one, then the journey begins. Yeah, from Barclays, I moved to British Council for a couple of months. Then I moved to Real Insurance. It was called Royal Insurance then. Then it's now bought by Britam. I did investments and treasury for 2 years. Fantastic. In fact, one of the best jobs I've ever done, because I was enjoying myself growing a portfolio. You know? So 2 years later, Unilever came calling. I joined Unilever, one of the best employers as well. A very good training ground as well. Did Unilever for about 3.5 years in the Unilever Tea as well as the consumer business here. So did management accounting, financial accounting, finished that, moved to Airtel Africa. Airtel Africa, I was the strategic assistant to the CFO of Africa. Fantastic role as well, 18 countries, amazing experience working with this Dutch guy. Then 2 years later, I took a plunge, went to a country called Gabon. Gabon is French speaking. I don't speak no French. That was crazy.
Like French kwa karibu zaidi ni Kikale.
I'm telling you, niko nafikiri naongea Kikale huko wasikie wapi. So I took a plunge and took a GM role for finance there. So of course a bit of English in the office, but my friend, when I went to the supermarket, one day I am looking at this chicken I'm buying. Why is it smaller than usual? I mean, cook. Sasa ile naanza kufungua hivi best yangu akakuja French guy. Anambia, "Hey Joseph, I didn't know you eat quails." So hapo ndo nikajua nimebuy quail bana badala ya kuku. Tangu siku hiyo Google Translator ndio my that was fun. It was crazy.
So what were you doing in Gabon?
I was doing leading a finance function there for Airtel.
You are still under Airtel.
I'm still under Airtel. So just moved with Airtel. Did almost 4 years, and my family was here. So after the third year, I actually became homesick. I really wanted to come back.
Yes, so Miss Brenda.
Because the kids were here. My wife with business, we didn't want to disrupt. And the kids are growing up without me. One of the biggest probably things that, if you ask me the last 40 years, one of the small regrets here and there, is even missing the birth of one of my kids, because I've always been there at the delivery room holding my wife's hand. So Karen, I missed that. It's one of the biggest regrets I have. I was just en route from Gabon. While in Rwanda, I'm being told, I think baby is coming, man. Ambia Brenda, tell that kid to hold. It's just 1 hour flight. Nikiland JKIA hivi, mbio hosi. Then I land JKIA and Brenda's sister, Charlie, calls me and tells me, Karen is born. that thing broke me, man.
Well,
Yeah, so I missed that. And every time I say that, I become very emotional.
I can see it already.
Let me breathe.
Ungekuwa na dawa
Yeah,
ungekunywa
ningekuwa na dawa drink hapa tungekunywa.
Ungekunywa.
No? Yeah, so yeah, and but I thank God we're very tight with Karen now. So yeah, so that was Gabon for you. And after 4 years, for 4.5, I came back. I came back to IPS, Industrial Promotional Services. So I left Airtel. So IPS is the industrial and promotional arm of infrastructure arm of the Aga Khan Development Network. So right now I actually work for the AKD and Aga Khan Development Network, right? I work for IPS. So IPS owns myriads of companies: Farmers Choice, Allpack Industries, PEPTANG, I mean, you name it, Bujagali Hydro, in all spheres, you know. So yeah, I did IPS. I came to lead the telco business. We have telcos in Uganda, Tanzania, and Burundi. So I did that for exactly 1 year, and then did a good turnaround there. And then the new challenge came to go and lead PEPTANG. So that's where I am today for the last 3.5 years. It's been fantastic. Good growth we've experienced. Lots of innovation that's come to the market. And I'm excited for where we are going, for probably the next couple of years as well. Yeah.
So you never know you could land.
You never know. You never know.
But it's one interesting thing. I've never met a company
Yeah.
that a product has overtaken the brand. Like the product,
Yeah, strange,
people,
right?
people,
Yeah.
people know PEPTANG more than the company
I
Premier
know.
Foods.
Yeah.
I mean, what does inform this? Where is the disconnect? Where did the disconnect happen? Is it that you guys did a lot with the brand,
Yeah. So I
the
think
product brand?
Yeah. So the and I actually support this very much. Right? You see, at the end of the day, you buy brand. You believe in a particular brand,
Yeah.
right? So I mean, you don't eat the name of the company. You eat PEPTANG because you know PEPTANG has been there since 1935. Home of quality. It's a heritage brand. That I would invest more in the brand as opposed to the company name. And you know, under PEPTANG, you have a myriad of other products. I wouldn't have, if I had Premier Foods, I wouldn't say Premier Foods jam, Premier Foods whatever. But you see, now I can tell you I have PEPTANG
jam.
peanut butter, PEPTANG jam, you know, some pep juice, you know, just coining from the PEPTANG, honey, PEPTANG honey. So you can be able to, you know,
You can relate.
Yeah,
you can have an emotional attachment
exactly
across
to-
board.
to-
You'll just be looking for pep.
Everything you pep it left, right, and center, yeah, and just enjoy your favorite brand, yeah. So that I think there's been more investment on the PEPTANG brand over the years. I'll be honest with you, when before I joined, I didn't even know. I knew PEPTANG, I didn't know Premier
You
Foods.
didn't know Premier Foods.
Yeah. So I'm in the same boat as you.
Right. That's interesting. Now, there's a lot you've achieved at 40. To be honest, thinking about it, in all honesty, that would be every man's dream. To achieve the much you've achieved at a young age.
Yeah.
If you can achieve that at 40, I mean, every man wants to say that, wants to get to a point where they feel they've achieved enough for themselves within such a short age. And it's not an easy feat, to be honest. Being a man on these streets and trying to achieve things is not the easiest thing to do. It's a struggle. You have to keep pulling. But I don't know, should I say you're lucky or you're strategic, or I don't know what happened. I would want to know how you've been able to get here at 40.
Yeah.
You're talking about all these portfolios.
Yeah.
You know, when people hear about the portfolios you've been through, someone will imagine you're 70 or 80 or nearing retirement, or you're already at home. I've called an old man here to come and have a conversation, but you're just 40. How have you been able to scale up and get to achieve so much within such a short age?
I think the biggest secret I would give to any man who wants to scale that big within a very short span of time, get a good woman.
Wow. Get a good woman. Tuanze na hapo.
Get a good woman. Today, I attribute everything of what I've achieved today to Brenda.
Wow.
You know, when I was starting my first job, this chick, so we are going to bargain. Mimi, I'm like, nipatie 10K, nipatie 15K, 20K, nianze job, you know? And B is like, why are you so less ambitious like this? Why are you going low? Why are you underselling yourself?
Yeah.
You know? And I mean, it was a wake-up call. I didn't know you can actually put a good valuation to yourself, you know? Because she believes in herself. You know, that chick was a Sonu treasurer, you know, in Campo, in campus. you know,
yaani ulikuwa umekatia kiongozi.
wewe bana. Sisi watu wa mbele.
Amogopi kiongozi.
Hatuogopi kiongozi. Tunaheshimu sheria, but maze lazima tuende na kiongozi. Kisha na kiongozi. Uongozi
na kiongozi.
You know? Yeah, so to be honest, if you get a good girl who pushes you, tells you that you're meant for bigger things than this. You need to dream big, and anakuambia, babe, by this age we need to have done this. You know, unasema siwezi angusha umresh.
Lazima tusikomka.
So she's really been an inspiration to where I am today. And every other time she would tell me, you know, you come home, even today in business in Premier Foods, anakuambia bana, you've not probably reached 50% growth. Unafanya nini? Umelala. Unajua? Amuka mtu wangu.
Rauka mse.
Yeah. So I think that plays a very pivotal role in going where you want to go. And just knowing that you have this person, the go-to person, the person who can support you in everything that you're doing, I mean, you feel like you can just go out and conquer the world. That even if things are thick there, there's somebody here who's always give you a shoulder and probably encourage you, pep you up, you know, to move to the next level. Yeah, yeah. And as far as the journey is concerned, I mean, you just work hard. Whatever you're given, do to your best. I normally say, do it like you're doing it for God. Yeah. Then the rest of the things will fall in place. And I wouldn't say that a little luck wouldn't play a role. You know? Sometimes, you know, luck favors I don't know what that's saying.
They're prepared.
They're prepared. You know. So if you're going through a journey and you even hata Mungu anaona umse amejikaza,
amesukuma sana,
anakuangushia zingine mabonus on the way, and I thank God for this far. Yeah.
So you've talked about the inspiration from, and I think that's I don't know if it's still, do you feel it's still possible to, you know, people have become so capitalist. Even in relationship, people get so capitalist. They're more focused about, you know, what can I achieve as a person? What can I push as a person? You know, I mean, the spirit of what can we do? What can we achieve? All of us has almost eluded us. Before I even get back to what you've done, because it would be interesting for that point to eat home on having the right woman. do you think it's a struggle these days?
I can say yes, it's a struggle, and especially when men leave it a bit late, and then you don't know whether you're being loved for you or for what you have. You know, for me, it was very simple. Met the chick at second year. Buda nimesota kama panya ya kanisa. Huyo amenipenda mimi.
At least panya ya kanisa kuna pesa, kwa sababu kuna pesa, kuna sadaka. At least kanaweza kula finje, kanaweza tafuna chwane wale.
I'm telling you. So before we walked down the aisle, we were friends for long. You know that? Tumekuwa mabeste for quite a while. And after that, you know, when I got married, we went to a bed sitter in Hamza. You know Hamza Makadara? Hamza is on Jogo Road. Yeah? I can see some your guys nodding here. Hawa no so amtaa wanajua
maneno wa Islam. Oh, ni mbogi
Islam. Hawa si wanaelewa. So we got a bed sitter in Hamza. That's where we started our life. B and I in Hamza. And nakumbuka day one after wedo, tumeenda that evening tumeenda honeymoon kidogo, tumerudi. So I'm bringing a chick to Hamza. Sasa ile nimeingia keja jioni. Yani hata wase wangengoja. Matag bana wamekaa wanapiga marisasi huko juu. Sasa nimeleta mtoto wenyewe huku ghetto, nikamwambia usijali, hizo ni fireworks wanakaribisha.
Ni sherehe.
Wanakukaribisha kwa
wanafanya sherehe.
Hiyo ni sherehe. You know? So that's the kind of life. So we've grown together. We've grown together. We've encouraged each other. As she did her business, you know, she worked for only 1 year. The company went down and she swore never to be employed again. So as she does her business, I'm her support system. As I grow in my career, I have a very good support system. You know, 4 children later, amazing partnership. So back to your question, I would really say be friends. Be friends, and you'll know when it's genuine. These things as ingine you can't quite describe it. You just feel it. The hunch tells you ni huyu bana na kuna venye.
All right, that is Brenda. Pongezi sana Brenda. Congratulations Brenda for building such a band. I say behind every successful man is a woman. It's a great woman. And sometimes people argue that maybe the women should be on the front. But the thing is, I think what is behind you is the power. I mean, it's a tug. Yes. It's what pushes you. Yes. You know, so sometimes we hug on the women and say, no, why is it that why is it that the women are not on the front? Yeah. But then again, it means then you are the one being pushed. Yeah. All right, so that's a powerful woman for you right there, Brenda. All right, so you as a person, CHOGE, you've talked about coming in from Lokichar. Pretty sure if you're not trying to get out of Lokichar, you never met Brenda bana. Anakuambia msee Brenda sasa ingekuwa na msee mwingine. Hiyo naye siwezi kudanganya. Sai.
Ukisema hivyo bana nasikia.
Sai basi ungekuwa pale Lokichar.
Hii mkutano utakwisha.
Sai Brenda moja. Kama ungetoka Lokichar. Story ni kuna msee mwingine angekuwa Kabete. Angekuwa na kiongozi. Brenda. So the thing is, I mean, probably then there's something that has pushed you, or you've tried to push your life in a certain trajectory. Coming from where you're talking about the background and all those things, and a point where I feel now that even telling me about your background and things that you're struggling with, probably you're at a point sometimes where you're feeling like maybe you could have felt condemned at some point, and maybe you're never going to rise out of that place. But again, you're here. You've pushed your way up here. I usually tell people, you can have a very beautiful car without wheels. It's just a car. Yeah. But it doesn't move.
Take you anywhere.
So sometimes it pays to have some wheels.
Yeah.
So even if you're being pushed, at least you're moving.
Yes.
You know? So I'm pretty sure there are things that have pushed you. There's some levels you've pushed. There are barriers that you've made a deliberate decision to push and ensure that you get over them. What has this been? What is it that you've done yourself that you tell any other young man who's trying to build a life to do? Yeah, to get where you are.
So especially, I'll probably speak to especially the young ones, the young boys and girls just coming out of high school into, or just even going into high school or going into campus and all that. Most of the times we tend to think we're studying and reading for our parents. You know, for me, it's been very clear ab initio. I need to make a life for myself. I need to uplift my family. I probably need to uplift my community. Yeah. The only way I'm going to do this, I knew, it has to be through this education. Yeah, and I have to be the best at it. Whatever I do, I just give the best. And when I would pass and see, guys, driving very good cars, kids have, they're living in, very, very nice places and all that stuff. I told myself, I want this for my family as well. Yeah, and I knew the drive has to come from within, from me. So every day I did the grind. I knew this was for me, this was for my family, and I'll not wait for anybody to come and do this for me. If I wanna succeed, then I just have to be the best at what I do. Na kaende. Spirit niyo.
Kasonge.
Mbele. And you'll doubt yourself at some point. You'll have, false starts. You'll flunk at things that the question is, how do you get up? You pick yourself up and, continue the course. As long as you know where you are headed, nobody, anyone, whatever word, nobody should say you're inadequate or anything. You just know that you have it within you. Whatever it is that you set your mind to do it. You just do it and you'll achieve it. I'm telling you. The mind is so powerful that whatever fodder you feed it is exactly what it's going to become. Every day you are an inspiration, to yourself. To tell yourself, man, I keep, feeding myself, knowing that whatever it is that I want to achieve, I'll definitely achieve. And you just go for it. Hakuna kurelent. Just go for it. And for me, from there, just things open, the doors open, and have some good, mentors on your way. I didn't have specific mentor to per se, which is something I would really advise anyone if you can get some good mentorship. But there are people I looked up to. I wanted to become, So that in itself is a big driver, big motivation to where I am today. Yeah.
So, and also there's something I don't know. I want to bring this off the hook.
Yeah.
Okay, there's something that happened recently. I was floating an opportunity for a friend who was looking for a QS,
QS,
a close friend of mine. So I pushed it on my wall. A lot of applicants came, hundreds and hundreds of them.
Yeah.
So I picked some of them that I thought they structured the introduction well.
Okay.
Because I could like, this is organized. You can send it to someone and they can really tell who this person is before they even think about shortlisting them from an interview. So some guys were shortlisted for an interview. They were contacted. And I'm saying this because I'm asking this because I feel we are not built for the grind anymore. The people that we've done the men that we have today, the young guys and all that, they're not guys who want to push. You know, they want people to do things for them. So these guys like munitumie fare ndio nikuje interview. Akia nani?
Oh my.
Kadema mtaka nikuje munitumie kafare nikam. So and I can actually really remember how I was actually forwarding these guys. I was forwarding on a feel of need basis. You know, there's someone you feel like this person really needs this thing. In the way they have structured their message, you would feel like, you know, this person needs it. And I could imagine that of all the guys that I forwarded, that people really badly needed it to an extent that you would do anything. I would remember my first fare to Nairobi was 600 bob, I think. 600 or 500 thereabout.
Na kutumia mtu kakula.
No, sasa ile mchango ilifanywa. Hiyo mchango ilifanywa ndio nikapata punch ya kufika Nairobi. Maze. Niambie kama unaenda Australia.
Umekuja
more than 7 people changaring for 500 bob. You get to Nairobi.
I know.
I mean, it was I had to push it. Like I had to ask, you know, guys, I need to get here. I need to come and try and get this thing working. And when I got here, of course, you don't have fare to get back. So you have to find your way around and do things. And that's how I ended up with milk, by the way. Loading milk and offloading milk. And later I sold milk and all that. But I mean, it took me insisting and saying, you know, I need to go and crying out, man, you know, let's make this happen.
Yeah.
And that's how the fare was raised. Yeah. So this chap says, you know, yes, I want the job, but, you know, you guys send me, man. Send me fare. And you come. And I remember I shared it. So I shared it on Facebook. I was like, you know, some of the guys that I forwarded for an interview asking for fare, you know? And I was like, Maze, I mean, because that's not normal. You must be smoking something.
Yeah.
You're not expecting me to say it as an employer. I don't know. Maybe you guys do that way.
No. What do you don't do that?
So I put it on Twitter. And those guys were raining. They've been raining on me for almost 2 weeks now.
Seriously, yeah.
They're saying, oh, you know, give us the number. We send him fare, or you should have sent him fare. But I think that's not the problem. This was the problem. The attitude.
Yeah.
You know, the entitlement, and you feel that there's someone somewhere who should do things for you, except yourself.
Yeah.
And I don't know how you feel about the guys, because we've all come from the grind, man. We've grinded.
Yeah.
We've pushed something. We've slept hungry. We've gone without the rent. Yeah. We've had a bad time to get where we are. We've not gotten where we want to go, but at least we've paid the price. Yes. You can feel it. It scares you every time to imagine that you could go back there. Yes. You've talked about the hustle, the grind, and pushing. You've talked about children, the kind of Jadens we are raising today, who want to have better, never bite anything. They kawawezi kula njugu, wanataka kulamba njugu, butternut or peanut. Do you feel like the young men, the generation we are raising now, are not people who want to grind, who want to push the grind? They don't feel like you want to get out of Campo, and you know the first thing you do is land into a job. You know, you don't want to fail. I sold personally, so I hawked spoons even in a lot. But anyway, my point is, for me, at that point, I felt like, I mean, the grind is dying, man. The grind is dying. That thing of pushing and waking up and doing things is dying. People are sitting somewhere and they're thinking like, Chage, you want me to work for you? Do this for me, or do that and this and that. Do you feel we are losing the grind?
I'm telling you, it's and you've put it very well. For me, it's very frustrating to see this kind of thing. And you know, these kids are the guys who are coming to the employment space at the moment. But when I look back, I don't want to really beat them and blame them. I want to blame us, parents. Okay? Did we give them too easy? You didn't make it very easy for them. And that's why the question I raised earlier about my daughter today, do I have to spoil her or give her everything? She doesn't know the beauty of struggling for anything. You know? by the time I'm getting you an opportunity for a job, I'm actually securing for you an interview. Bado unanitisha fare.
Maze. Yani kupe job na nikuchape fare.
Pro safi. Wacha tu kwa sababu yani naweza sema kitu hapa nipelekwe kamiti. Lakini
hata uanze kulimwa.
Nilimwe sahi, but it's not even fair. I would encourage it's enda uza maziwa bana. Make that extra buck. And it's trading. Buy 10 bob uza 20 bob or 15 bob. Kama hakuna enda lima shamba ya msee. Upate hiyo fare. At least somebody has gone 1 mile. Show initiative. My worry is that guy with that sense of entitlement. Akikuja job. Afiki hapo alafu anakuambia baada ya wiki 2 ama miezi 3 hivi nimeboeka.
Niongezeka kitu. Nichangamke.
Ati nichangamke. Hakuna ile self push within, that self drive to be able to, and you planned out your career, you know what it is that you want in life. How do you help this kind of persons, So in my opinion, we as parents have a share of blame to take for actually bringing that peanut butter instead of njugu pia grind kiasi. I mean, you gotta throw the kid to the in fact, does somebody have a business here where there's like a boot camp where kids are taken wapitie wapande milima washuke wakumaliza pande ile unakamua ng'ombe ama ngamia unarudi pande hii, that kind of thing to harden the kids.
Hata kukuwa na mtu wa kupiga ngumi kidogo
ukutane na life the real deal yeah. So as much I hear you, and as much as I'm frustrated, I want the blame to be shared. Today we the people raising the Jadens, tumewabembeleza sana. Hawatajua life. And these are the people when kitu kidogo ikiwa frustrate unafikiria mambo ya suicide, going into depression over very little things, small things in my opinion. So it's time we teach our kids responsibility. It's time to allow them to fall. Unajua si ile mtu anaenda kwangu, daddy sijui nini ushanguokota. Acha anguke, acha alie. Akimaliza anarudi haizi kufa. Arudie tena nini mpaka be able to scale.
He lands it himself.
Pick yourself up. Life is not going to be easy. Life is not dad I need the PS4,
and it's there delivered.
Ishapigwa jumia, isha land, fanya kazi, enda osha gari, enda lima hapo kwa shamba, kidogo kata allowance, earn it, unajua ule msee alikuwa anasema kama tax, mtu huyu unampatia ice cream,
unauma pale juu,
30% kwanza
unabakisha hiyo nini chini,
unabakisha hiyo chini, mtu huyu ajue maana maisha ni ngumu,
unabakisha code, unaambia za dadi
maana na hiyo hali na ukitaka hiyo ya juu fanya job,
changamkia.
That's how we should raise our kids. I'm really grateful to our parents. Kutubembeleza. Unajua responsibility, you know what to do, and you appreciate everything. Today I appreciate every coin that I get. Kwa sababu ni jasho yako. Enda urupatiwe gari hapa sahi. So utaenda kuigongesha huko, hata ujui imetoka wapi. Yeah, so let's share the blame. But the kids need to step up.
So with your interaction, because I'm pretty sure you interact with these people most often, because there are people who look for jobs and all these other things. What did you say? You do you get irritated by things that the young men of today do when you get a contrast of you growing up and also them now?
So I want to use the word irritation per se, because to be honest, I've had to read about millennials.
They're all thesis.
There's a lot of material about this and how to appreciate them. And today's kid won't, unlike us when we were starting, we were looking for money to run away from poverty. These kids are looking for purpose. Okay? So it's very important to understand them as well. And they don't necessarily, that's why after 3 months, a kid can come to you and tell you, job imenibo.
Maze nimeboeka.
Unamuuliza utalipaje rent kesho ama nini? Tutajipanga na mbele huko. But I leti shangwe. Unaona? So the kid ups and goes. And you're like, you know, for me bana, mbaya bana, lazima chakula iko kwa meza, you know. But him probably, or him or her knows tarudi kwa madhe at 30, unarudi home, and your parents will still accommodate you. My friend, it's just that my kids are not very old, but I would have wanted to send a message right here and right now.
Wapata sai ujumbe.
20 something. Ukishaenda
Maze songa.
Mbele mtu wangu. Mimi tangu 18 sijarudi kwa mama yangu. Be independent. Ati unaenda unacheza na job huko juu unajua utarudi kwa mzazi. Acheni jokes. Ukienda umeishia. Kikiumana, twende huko hiyo bedsitter ile ya Hamza. Twende anza maisha yako bana. Now that's the reason why you'll take your job seriously. You'll find a way of making it work. But that's not to say that, you know, because we've already raised that generation as parents, right? Then we need a lot of material, especially people in the employment space, the HR, general management, in terms of understanding the millennials and just giving them the purpose so that they can also enjoy what they are doing. It's very important. And the beauty with these kids is they like what they're doing. Even at lower rates, they'll give you their best. Because all they are looking for is that satisfaction in whatever it is. And there's nothing as good as doing what you love and enjoying. Yeah, then the output tends to be, you know, quite a lot. Today, I enjoy every day nikiamuka najua tunaenda Orchid Valley. Lazima itembee kwa kila meza, you know?
Lazima kila mtu akunywe.
Watu wakunywe Orchid Valley. Unakula chipo yako, PEPTANG sauce ndio inasindikiza, you know? And yani nabambika nikiamuka kila siku.
And there's something you're grinding for, there's something you're doing.
Exactly. So it's paying your bills, but you're also enjoying. Then you can only flourish from there. So that's the same thing I would think of.
Lakini unaambia wasee bana ati wasirudi kwa madhe. Siku hata majamaa watoki bana. Jamaa watoki mse. Atunaambia tu wasirudi. Hai, napata jamaa ako na 40 kama wewe wako area. Wanapita na madhe hapo akitoka kuoga asubuhi. Sasa watoki bwana.
Unanijamisha sasa asubuhi. What do you mean?
Sasa watoki bila kwambia.
Wadau. Tafadhali.
Sasa zama na maoni.
Kamera ni gani ni?
Ndio.
Tokeni home watu wangu. Tokeni. Wacha nini na madhe. Enda tafuta yako. You know? So that watoto wako pia wajue ini ya babangu ama mama yangu. Sio mambo ya kutegemea ya babu na nyanya tena. Aibu ndogo tuache. Tokeni. Hata kama una eni changa tafuta tu hiyo keja ya 5k 7k anza maisha yako. And I'm telling you from there you'll make it, it'll work. Especially, and there's nothing as sweet as knowing it's your own. Sasa ukienda kwa nyumba ya mama yako unasikia okay. Tuachie tu hapo bwana.
Mama anaweza angusha tawel bwana, iko shida. Anyway. Closing that before you go to a bit serious matters kidogo, tumetukia kwa mambo ya policy kidogo na biashara. I would want to, you know, there's something I really appreciate myself is getting out of that space. You know, getting out of home. Getting out of that familiar space where, you know, unajua tu upenda mtaju, unajua mazi hata kuenda haja lazima utadishi tu na utalala. Hakuna mtu akuuliza, hakuna mtu akugongea. Wengi hapo kama aidha amepiga ugali hawezi kuacha bure, atakuchapa kasembe hapo, utakula. Amazo utaingia pale kijana utalala. Lakini maze siku zikisonga ni nini nyingine umefanya? The thing you've achieved. Kuna kitu ambaye this is something that it does for a man, getting out of that familiar space, getting out of home and getting out to the grind, getting out here. I must admit that Nairobi is one of the craziest places to be in.
Oh yeah.
You know, it's maze, ni shamba la mawe kusema kweli. Kabro mse, go by. So but I mean there's something that it does for you to get out of that familiar space and be out here where you have to fight for survival.
Yeah.
You know, kumbaga kuna time nyingine sikuwa nimalipa rent. Jamaa akanipiga kufuli ya bedsita huko Mukuru kwa Njenga bana. Sasa nanga huruma pale Mukuru. So jamaa akapiga lock. Mimi mazi unakumbuka tukiwa high school pale tulikuwa napiganga ile master key ile ya kupiga waya alafu unafungua lock. So mimi nikapiga kawaya. Mimi naingianga masaa ya usiku. Kelekea my 11 huko. Naenda naingia na lock na lala. Ngware nimechomoka for 4 months.
Wow.
Pole sana landlord. Kuna siku niliama usiku nikabeba vitu ana habari nikamfungia nikalock tena nikaacha curtains nikaweka tu kufuli yake. Najua Paulo lifika ukapata hakuna kitu ni curtain peke yake. But I mean you have to survive. You cannot go back. You cannot go back there.
Yeah.
You know, one thing that really I told myself is I don't want to go back there. Because I knew where I was coming from.
Right.
I knew what I had come out of.
Yeah. And you're running away from.
I knew what I was running away from. I didn't want to get back. That's what I told myself. That whatever it takes, whatever it is, I'll never get back there. For 6 months, it was that kubatisha pelekana chenga na landlord. For 4 months. Then 6 months, the other 2 months I think were crazy as well. So let's say a total of 6 months. There's that one thing I kept telling myself, I don't want to go back there.
Yeah.
I'm not going back to what I came from.
Yeah.
There's no way.
Yeah.
There's no way, man, I'm going back to those things. So, and we're here. We turned out right. We didn't die.
Yeah.
What do you think it does for a man to get out of that space and be out here?
Yeah. In life, if you have to be uncomfortable to make things work. If you're too comfortable, then you go into a space of complacency. Yani, you're just there because everything is being provided. You're too comfortable. For me, it's simple. You have to get uncomfortable, and when it gets comfortable, you look for the next challenge that makes you more uncomfortable. Today, a kid probably somewhere, somebody says, "Ujamaa ni CEO amefika." My friend, I raise my bar every day. What is the next piece of achievement that I need to do? You know, I need to sit in a certain board. You know, I need to sort my parents. I need to sort. I don't know. Secure the future, proper future for my kids, and things like that. You know, you have to keep yourself challenged. This thing, you have to come out. You have to come out of your comfort zone. Unakaa ati unangoja utaprovidiwa na your parents or your sisters tu, unakaa ghetto unene. Toka. Get out of your comfort zone. Go for the grind. If you're not feeling uncomfortable, there's a problem. There's a problem. Are you going for the next challenge? Are you challenging yourself? Do you have milestones that you need to achieve by the time you get anywhere? If you ask me, I was very clear. Nikifika, okay, before 20 sikuwa na milestone ati nimepanga nini. Mungu hiyo ilikuwa Mungu mbele itusaidie.
Ulikuwa unang'ang'ana tu na brand.
Na kukatia B, kujipanga huko, you know? But I was very clear. But before I get 30, nitakuwa nimeoa, nimepata mresh, niko na keja yangu, sio hata kama ni 1500 hivi, lakini
ni keja yako, ni kwako.
Ni kwangu.
Unatoka kufulu unafungua kwako.
Nikiingia hivi, tena unaingia na madaha yani. Huko ni kwako.
Unaingia unaona mali yako yote.
Unaingia
safari moja.
Unaona
sufuria yako, unaona
sufuria, una nini?
Vikombe. Audit dimension.
Uko ndani, you know, but it's yours. It's yours. There's that sense of I own this. I worked for this, you know, however small. And the question is, and you know, the beauty with Bedsitter Kwanza Chronicles, as you grow, unabai ka TV, unabai sijui nini, skuli
unabai Ampex bana.
Skuli unabai fridge. Unaona Buddha. Sasa ndio umefika, lakini sasa fridge imeanza kuwa inafanya nyumba ikuwe ndogo. Na kuinspire uende one bedroom sasa.
Waze ka fridge kapata nafasi.
Fridge pata nafasi ipumue. But you see, what it's doing for you is inakuchallenge you grow. Yeah, so but when you're at comfort zone, uko kwa madhe nini, there's nothing challenging you. Uko tu, madhe ataleta food. Mimi nashindwa watu wanakaa na madhe. Unataka kunyonya? Lakini okay, acha tu.
Usiogope uliza. Mnataka kunyonya?
Nini? Toka bana, mwanaume ni jasho.
Huko mwanaume ni kusonga. Mambo ya kuzunguka madhe achana.
Wachana bana. Wacha. Mlete madhe grandchildren. Acheze fry yao ni
mleta sukari
nini. Kuja ukitembea
unaleta sukari.
Unasema, you know, kwetu tunasema, you know, kongoi madhe. For bringing.
Asante. Hata kama nikakuota sukari amekunywa.
Amekunywa. Na ni shukran kwa kunilea. Sasa unamenilea kama mtoto, tena kuja unilea kama mtu mkubwa. Tuache jokes. Sikia mwachane, anasema jamaa sikiza anasema acha kuwa mtu bloody fucking. Aya tutoke tuhangaike. Acha kuwa mtu bloody fucking. Anyway, now let's move on now very quickly to issues of now let's bring out the CEO in you.
You're bringing out the boy in Lokichar, the man who's gone and our good villager. Now let's bring out the CEO in here. And we've been in tough times for the last 2 years, and most people have struggled in business. All of us, anybody who's in business would feel it. Even if you don't do business and you're employed, you're working for someone, you'd feel the crunch and the pain of collapsing businesses, especially during this COVID time. And one would wonder, because I don't know what challenges you guys are having there, but you look happy and fair and good. But I want to know, how does it feel? How has it been like running business in a COVID era? And how have you guys survived? How would you tell any other person who's trying to keep their business afloat?
Yeah. COVID has been real, and it's really hit businesses. You know, from angles we'd probably never imagined. 5 years ago, if you told me this day was coming, I would have told you, where is she? You know. But it's tested the resilience of many businesses. Unfortunately, some have had to crumble under the pressure of the effects of COVID. Some who've managed to survive have had to innovate, and probably, sadly, some have had to scale down operations. Some people have had to lose jobs. I'll tell you, for example, the industry we are in, the food space. So we supply a lot of food to the hotel space. And our biggest hit, I think, has been on tourism. Because, travel was banned. And, you go to the coast, you would find beds. Literally, it was closed down, right? I remember last year, there was zero tourism. And you can imagine all the ketchup or the juices or the canned foods that we were taking to this space, that's just gone. It's collapsed overnight. So the question is, how do you remain resilient in light of all these tumultuous times? And for us, it was simple. We innovate or die. So from an adversity, for example, for us came opportunity. Today I look at one of our innovations, Dawa drink, Recharge Dawa, a mixture of ginger, lemon, and honey. And I think somebody from our innovations team just looked and said, you know what? Even as people are staying home, places are closed, Corona is here with us. But every day, unakuta mtu ameenda kwa nyumba, they put eucalyptus, whatever. They fukiza, they steam themselves, do that. Maliza hiyo, unachamusha ginger, lemon, and honey, dawa, nyumbani. Why don't we make it easier for them and convenience? So we sell convenience for that. And that's how our dawa drink came into being. Yet to be launched officially, yet the kind of traction we are seeing is amazing, So we would have sat there and started crying, oh, Corona is here, food space has been hit and things like that. But do you see a silver lining in all this? Is there an opportunity? So businesses that are managed to survive are businesses that are managed to innovate around COVID,
around the challenges.
Around challenge. If you are doing business inefficiently and there were areas, of waste, you now do what I call war on waste. Look at every aspect of your business to see where it is that you can be able to save a coin to be able to cushion us from the effects of the pandemic. Today, for example, I'll tell you the international space. The international logistics has been totally messed up. You can't even find containers now. What used to take us 1 month to ship is taking us almost 5-6 months to get to Kenya. That means what? That means stock out for you. That means you don't have product in the shelf. So if you were to bring in, say, sugar or some raw material, if you hadn't, planned around this, you're going to go on stock out. And it's real. Most businesses are going out on stock outs. Then freight costs, for example, for us today, is 5 times what it used to be. That's 500% what it used to be pre-COVID. And then I'm trying as much as possible not to pass that effect to my consumer through price. But it's untenable. Otherwise, I'll have to close. Sometimes you have to increase the price. What does that mean? It means you are dwindling the wallet capacity of that consumer. And the times are not even more friendlier. So really, for me, COVID has been a monster in itself, an awakener for many businesses. But the resilient, the innovative, the ones that adapt to the changing times will survive. And Premier Foods has been one of those companies.
Survival for the fittest.
Survival for the fittest.
I must also admit that this channel, as you can see, or this setup is a product of COVID-19.
Yes.
It is. Because what was happening is when COVID came, even the media space was streamlined. So some of us who used to do things with the mainstream media at that point didn't have anything to do.
Right.
Because we were home and all that. You cannot go to the studio and all those things. So I sat and I said, how else can we have this conversation? And I said, okay, we can have. That is the time when Zoom came in. I was saying, okay, even beyond just having meetings on Zoom, how can we pull people and have a conversation? So I could pull this other person on Zoom in the morning, and we have a conversation. We push it to Facebook and we have a conversation. And it grew. People were there at home and they wanted to have a conversation as well on different issues that they still aired on the mainstream media, which was lacking there. And we are.
Gerald,
out of
I'm really proud of you. You know, this is, and it's a kind of grind, eh? If you hadn't been subjected to what you subjected, you would not have this kind of innovative mind and to know how to survive during tough times. You know, and I'm to be honest, I'm more than impressed. If you didn't tell me that the studio is a year old, I would have told you this has been there with KBC Times. You know, I mean, it's a household name. You know, and I mean, well done. And that's now adapting to the current situation, making the most of it. Everyone was moving online during that space. We at Premier Foods, we were more of a distributor, wholesaler kind of channel. Today, we have our own, shopping cart for people to come and shop, online and be able to. So we have peptang.dpo.store, for example, or even on peptang.com, you can just go and be able to shop, to buy your products. But COVID times has taught us there are different ways to do business.
You can innovate and still sell.
Yeah, and for you to see that probably mainstream is shaken and coming to start this and running with the kind of traction you're doing today.
So uko nje watu wanasema hii kitu ni kubwa.
Buda, umenishtua kuniambia ati ni 1 year old. What do you mean?
Nika baby ya mwaka moja bana. Kanakula birthday.
Well done. Soon it will be 40.
Amen. So I mean that's how it has been, and there's something. The reason why I say that is that there's something profound about not only enterprise, but even individual, we love to win so much. Even in business, when you're a leader like you, it's easy to get to sink in the whole negative energy where you're dealing with employees who are getting demotivated because things are not going right. With money that you have to get deeper into your pockets to make things happen. And you could decide to sink in and say, man, we are done bana. Weka gazeti, sisi ni wale tumeitwa bankrupt, tumekafunga. Maze tusonge, corona imetumaliza. But the innovation around it and every challenge that comes with it should be inspiration to every other person. If you're talking about a product that you've brought up, that's a product of COVID-19. Without COVID-19, probably you could never have had that product.
Exactly.
But you have it because you innovated around it.
Yes.
You'd have chosen to say, acha tungoje COVID ishe. Unajua hata siku hizi mtakuwa na deni yako naambia bana acha corona ishe msee. Na hii kitu kama ishe. Unasikia kuna ile delta kidogo utasikia kuna yenye inaitwa CHOGE variant and it keeps coming. So I mean the point is you can choose to innovate or you can choose to succumb. And I think that should be the inspiration today to businesses. Now, CHOGE as an innovation, a product that is coming from COVID-19. Ask yourself, what have you done during COVID? What is something that's something new that you've been able to achieve during COVID-19? That's a question for you, guys. So that's how you've survived, innovating around it during COVID-19.
You think about it. You shut down your 500 guys, taking their livelihoods from that company every day. Okay. You have myriads, tons of farmers, bringing produce to you so that their kids or their families can be able to be fed. Where do they take their produce? It's not an option. You have to reinvent. You have to make it work. It's not about you. It's the bigger populace that is dependent on the company. Because, directly you could touch probably 1,000 people. Indirectly, how many people do you touch? So every decision that we as leaders take, what affects a lot of people. What is the implication of what you're doing? So just thinking about that is motivation enough. You have to reinvent yourself. And, around COVID times, and you've asked a very good question to people, Around COVID time, I've also asked myself during this period, as I come out of this period, what would I have come up, myself as Joseph now? Nimefanya nini different, So lately I've just discovered I can love hiking, So I go to nimechapa milima, Kilimambogo, I've done, the other day I was in Gong, I've done Elementite, it's called this Longonaut, we've done I don't know what, and we're a crew of guys, and it's so much fun to...
I've seen your guys here. They're saying my hike mate.
Hikers in the building.
Wamefika.
Akina Moreno, very good.
Wamefika. My hike mate.
Nice. So those are, it's fun, to join such guys and just enjoy. And it's a healthy way to have fun as well. Yeah. Yeah. I look forward to climbing Mount Kenya or Kilimanjaro in the near future, together with that crew. I've started reading a lot lately. I'm not very good at reading books paper, so I do a lot of audio books. Even when I was coming here, I was an audio. Yes, and it's easy to do those 50 books a year, and you actually grow from all this. So, what challenge to the guys listening today during this COVID time? What's the new thing or different, enriching thing that you've managed to do? Did you start a business? Did you form new friendships? Did you read? Did you go back to school? I also went back to school, by the way, because as much as mtu anakuambia wewe ni CEO nini unaenda kusoma nini, so right now I'm doing a Chartered Institute of Marketing course, and I'm enjoying it, probably finishing it in December, and I get my charter. Somebody else will probably stop. I mean, umefika.
Unatafuta nini?
Unatafuta nini? But you always have to sharpen yourself, keep challenging yourself. Nataka nikiwa kwa boardroom, niko na awase wa marketing akina Raymond. Wakianza kunipea BS hapo na at least I can be able to challenge, from an informed perspective.
Maza kwendangi. Tunajua zaidi.
Tunajua pia, So it's always good to challenge yourself, grow with every day. Yeah.
Okay. So let me ask you, now that you mentioned about the transition as well, there's a new trend that came with COVID as well.
Yeah.
Everybody went online.
Yeah.
You're also talking about you guys going online.
Yeah.
People were going, DJs were going online, performing shows online. Everybody was trying to find a niche online. Companies, you could realize, have moved so much away from the traditional marketing of mainstream media and all that. Everybody's online these days. People are doing the consumerism is done online.
Yeah.
What did you say has been the effect of digital trend or digital growth on business and also on you deal consumers? Do you think it has tilted the attitude and the preference of consumers?
Actually, think we've interacted more with our consumers than we did when we were doing, those what are those called when you go with a caravan and pick nduru in a supermarket?
Ile ya dance.
Dombolo ya solo.
Dombolo ya juice.
Yes. So I think we've managed to interact with our consumers more. It's been more intimate on the various platforms, through our pages, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, or Instagram. One thing I really am proud of, and when COVID hit, a lot of our artists, our sanii, they depend on shows. They used to depend on live shows and things like that. And that was normal, gatherings were banned.
Yeah.
So these guys won't have anything to eat. I mean, it's like all of a sudden it's come to a screeching halt.
Yeah.
What do we do? And I like the innovation around that. You would have live concert online. Somebody does your... You are a product of the same.
Yeah.
Today, you are hosting, shows online.
Yeah.
And we as a company were very deliberate about that.
Yeah.
To say, how can we support the wasanis in the market today? So we do a lot of sponsorships for online gigs for guys, and it was a win-win kind of scenario, because if Madam Boss did her thing on her page and holding Orchid Valley, then the company
gains with the
market share and increases the top line, and Madam Boss gets her check. Everyone wins.
Everyone is happy.
A lot of the nano influencers coming into the fray, working with some great names in the industry. keeping them afloat as they also help us to, spread the word around our products. And we've just realized that that intimacy between ourselves and the consumer, and you get feedback pronto. Because hapo kwa hapo msee anakuambia leo nyanya nikai kuiva poa, unamwambia tulia, I got you man.
Ama uliongeza maji sana.
Chumvi, so the feedback and the communication between the teams, between ourselves and our consumers has been very intimate, very nice. And I can say actually our portfolio has grown through that period. Unajua the one thing nili realize wakati kulikuwa na lockdown na watu wanafanya job home, neza penda watu waende wasimame on the scale, upime weight, kwa sababu hawa ni kama walikuwa wanazungukia tu bedroom, sitting room, fridge, kwa kitchen, unarudi tena kwa sitting room, unachapa laptop, unakuja unafungua fridge,
unatoa juice,
unachapa kidogo chipo imeingia, dunga ka ketchup hapo. So somehow business was still flourished, and you managed to still keep engaging, because today's consumer, how many times are you on your phone today?
A lot of times.
A lot of times. There's a lot of screen time, which we need to detox over time. But there's a lot of people spending a lot of time on the gadgets and the screens. So that's our new platform of interaction, and it's been fantastic to just engage with our consumer during this period.
So what did you tell people who are still sticking to tradition? You lead a company. We have people who do business. Most of the guys here tune in the morning are people who do business, who are doing business. And you realize that maybe most of them have tried to remain so conservative when it comes to trends. And they are less embraced of the digital space and the growth in what we are having. The technology is moving. People, I don't remember the last time I watched TV, to be honest.
That makes two of us.
But, we're always on our phone. But we still have this feeling that, that is where the thing is. Guys, we have to keep doing shit there. Pushing the brands there. Where people are not seeing it. How would you tell anybody who's leading a brand and a business today around innovating around the digital space?
So kwanza nitasema na Kiswahili, utawacha kwa mataa. Chelewa utakuta mwana si wako.
Mwana ni wa jirani.
Alienda. I'm not discrediting mainstream media. Mainstream media still offers the credibility to brands, and is still a good platform to advertise. But ignore digital at your own peril. Today's age, especially the consumer, that the new age consumer today is all on digital. You tell me, the kids we are raising today, everything is IG. How do you speak to them? I can bet you my daughter or my son or my children have not watched TV for the last 3 years. I can tell you for free. TV, our John. And that's the consumer
that you want to sell.
That's our target consumer. That's our target market. If I don't go to, the kid is on YouTube, for example. If I don't do a pop-up ad there, I'm telling you, ignore digital at your own peril. You're gonna go out of business, because the new age is here. It's here to stay. It's the new age media, and the beauty of digital is that it's so measurable, it hurts. I can be able to tell you, nimetarget mse fulani, Ongwaro, anapenda kukula nini na nini. There's the level of efficiency of the consumption of each dollar that you're spending on digital.
You can track your shilling.
You can track your shilling to the cent, and you can actually see. To be honest, today, our growth of Orchid Valley is purely on digital and influencing. Period. Okay? Of course, coupled with the key things of nice packaging and good taste of the product, right?
And proper product.
Quality product. Digital and influencing has been the key aspect of our growth. And any leader or marketing professional listening today, I would just say ignore digital at your own peril. These are the platforms that are going to take your brands to the next level. These are the platforms that are going to be more, where your consumer and your brand are going to be more intimate than you'd probably get in your mainstream. It's as simple as that. Ignore at your own peril. kata hata naweza penda my competition lakini tu huko tukutane mbele sasa ile umejikuta una ile
waze kaeni huko sasa kaeni kwa mataa
yes.
All right, okay, finally as we head towards our tail end, we've all been talking about the policy frameworks and business, and people who do business. I do business myself. I stopped working, I think it's how many years now. I stopped working in 2015.
Wow, when I grow up I want to be like you.
Okay, all right, I did stop working. I stopped employment. I left employment.
That's it. That's
you know, when they say stop working, no, you're still working.
No, we're still working.
We never work until
But,
we are done. We never stop until we are
right?
done. All right, yeah. So anyway, I left employment in 2015, and I've tried a lot of things.
Yeah.
And the biggest challenge that I've seen in business is framework and policy. It's about the decisions that people somewhere.
Yeah.
There are some guys who sit somewhere.
Yeah.
Who make decisions for us. And sometimes it's painful. Business fail. I've lost a number of businesses because maybe they could not survive the tides of policy, administration. There are guys these days called KRA. These guys, they show up like ghosts. And they want to make ukijaribu tukwake kibanda hivi ta kesho sijui anajuanga aje. Ya bana. Nasikia manze unaendaje hapa. So it's been, I would say a lot of business struggle with policy. They struggle with the way things are shaped by the administration.
Right.
I don't know, it has been like for you. Do you think there could be better things that could be done in terms of the policy space to ensure that business thrive better?
Absolutely. And policies can break or make an economy. Okay, so good policies tends to make economies grow, create jobs, and the environment, thrives. I'll take, for example, today, if there's a good policy of protecting the Kenyan businesses from inflow of a lot of imports into the country, and this is a bit controversial, but I'm very passionate about buying Kenya and building Kenya. Today, there's a lot of influx of imports from Egypt, for example. Which land, they probably, because of the Aswan High Dam, I don't know what, they have cheaper electricity. Somehow the government has enabled the environment to be able to produce at much cheaper prices. And somebody from there actually lands a product in Kenya cheaper than you.
Because the production costs are low.
But you see, between friends, the people who've made that product are employees of that country, right? Yeah, so every dollar that we send to we are instead of paying my own people here and uplifting our own communities here. So how can the policy framework be done in such a way that it ring fences us, the local manufacturers, who are actually taking produce from that local farmer here,
and we keep the capital here,
and we keep the capital. Let the money rotate here. When I remove that dollar to pay for that tomato or strawberries or mangoes, I know that dollar goes to a mama somewhere who takes a kid to school somewhere, and not some capital flight to another country. It really pains me to the core to see this. And so, by the time, what kind of framework can be put in place to ensure that when that product comes in, I'm actually ring-fenced so there are people who want to consume, probably expatriates from those countries or wherever, who work in our country, and we are an open market, right? So fine, let them consume their products, but it shouldn't be at the cost of the local populace. Okay, so that we manage to protect our capital. So that's an important, and we lobby a lot through our Kenya Association of Manufacturers, come to be able to see how we ring fence our own industries and grow our people. So that's one. You see, today, and you've mentioned, say, the taxation, for example, policy, and you'll see probably the last 6 months. There's been a lot of taxes levied to be able to probably ring fence the government spend and things like that, to be able to cover budget shortages or something like this. Yeah. But the question I ask today, like right now, I'm actually passing. This 1st September, there will probably be price increases as a result of tax increases. Yeah. Excise is being increased and all that, left, right, and center. On bottles, I don't know on what, is being increased. The question, and you have to pass it to the consumer. Today, so the question, are we trying to raise revenues at the expense of jobs in the market, out there? are we considering the implications of every increase? Are we, if I want to start a business and I come, am I making Kenya a less attractive investment destination or a better investment destination and attractive to capital to come in? That is what I would look at. Somebody needs to really seriously sit down and look at the policy framework to see whether it's conducive for business growth or we're actually killing and curtailing business in this country. We can't. I don't think we can grow our economy in some supersonic speed or to some great level through overtaxation. I don't think so. There are better ways where you create an ample environment for capital to come in, people to be able to, produce, create more jobs, and more money goes into the circulation, and through that, the growth of revenue, the government gets its taxes from there, increased taxes. So that in itself is every aspect is growing. The government expenditure is growing in terms of capital spend. Businesses are growing. People are getting money into their pockets. Farmers are being paid, and the whole ecosystem actually thrives. Let's not kill it. So that to me is a challenge I'll throw back to the policymakers to see how to make the environment more business friendly and more attractive to capital that comes into the market.
To investors. Yeah. All right. Okay. I hope these guys are listening. If you're not productive, you cannot sustain it. You cannot sustain it. You're not doing anything, you cannot sustain it.
Exactly.
And by the way, the statistics say that almost 17.5 million Kenyans are not in the productive bracket. So you're killing the little, those few that were producing, now you want to finish them.
Exactly.
We have 17.5 million Kenyans to ensure that we make them productive. How do you make them productive? Ensuring that we have an environment for people to start business.
Yes.
Ukianza bana siku hizi ukianza kutoka biashara hivi kiare bana ndio inakuita tu default
Tax default.
return defaulter but bana unatoa wapi kachapa kuna lipa wase. So anyway, we hope things could be better so we can have more Kenyans producing, and also we can keep on the issues as well of imports. I think that is how our industries have collapsed. Correct. Look at sugar today. We don't even consume a grain of sugar that has been done within. They all come from outside. Look at rice. Every grain comes from outside. I mean, the few people that we have here doing farming, anyway, but pongezi for you guys who have considered continue to support the farmer, because I believe if that shilling is going to get to someone, a mango farmer in Kitui, and they can take their children to school, you can feel it. I mean, it's a legacy that you build for someone who is and going and saying maybe you're going to pick these mangoes. You can pick the mangoes from wherever, but you dare to pick it from within. So anyway, anybody who's doing in business as well, ensure that we keep these things here. Ensure that our capital somehow rotates within us. Anyway, finally, wafungue ama wasifungue, tuko na 60 days ingine. I don't know how life has been for you with the curfew rules that we are seeing the government has continued to impose on business. Nasikia waze saini usipatikane na murando, usipatikane na Joyce usiku. What's your feeling as an entity? What has been your feeling? Do you think we could work better with this? Do you think we could have Kenyans doing more? So
it's a very tricky question. It's a very tricky question. Yeah? And hapa unaweza gongwa na mawe kwa rais.
Usiogope mawe daddy.
But for me,
usiogope mawe.
I'm very clear. The disease is real.
Of course, we all know that.
It's killed people close to me. So I know it's real.
Yep.
We tend to put our guard down, especially sale tunapiga sherehe. Unapiga sherehe, unajua sale tumeanza. Uko na kanywaji, unatoa mask, unaonja, unarudisha. By the time hiyo glass mbili imeisha, kamaski kameenda chini. Kidogo tumeanza kugoteana. Tumerudi karibu saa sherehe ndio ikue. So we forget everything. So from that perspective, and to reduce the risk of spread, I would say bado funga.
Lakini maze kupiga sherehe na mchana na usiku kuna tofauti. Ama ikitu naitana. Kana utokeanga magedhaa ya sana. Maze siku hata mchana.
Acha nikwambie. Sherehe sana. Wewe hata unajua. Sherehe sana ni saa ngapi? Majioni.
Ni majioni, lakini wazee siku napiga mchana bana.
Sasa unajua ni kureinvent sasa ile. Umeshikwa usiku sasa afadhali nini? Lakini unajua the assumption here is most of the mchana utakuwa job sana mchana weekend
You'll be working.
utakuwa una work, yani it tends to reduce the risk exposure.
Okay.
So from that perspective, it's, in my opinion, it's responsible to actually try to reduce the time of exposure. Then you reduce the risk of spread. It's going to be there. There'll be people who will flout, but at least we've done something to help reduce it. Okay. The one that you know, for me was a bit off was this thing of say into going to counties. Okay, it might have helped spread and all that. I mean, curtail a bit.
Yeah.
But in terms of doing business, we had difficulties in terms of getting our products to different ends of the market. So it didn't quite make sense. We didn't know whether we needed stickers or what. It wasn't done, you know, the initial one was not done in a proper manner. So it's, I would say, me, I'm a proponent of vaccination. If the government, I don't know if you watch the Premier League.
Yeah. I'm not a football guy, but I usually I hear about it as a rumor.
As a rumor.
Yes.
So, you know,
kama jana nilisikia Arsenal walifanyiwa ile kitu.
Okay, unajua sasa ukianza kuongea juu ya Arsenal hapa tutabidi tuanze kuomba tuombe watu. Unajua niko na ndugu yangu anaitwa Timo, namhurumia sana. Lakini na jamani
nasikia wanatembea na oxygen ya kupima oxygen.
Kuna hii kitu ya pressure.
Ya kupima pressure.
It's tough. Sasa au tunaweka kwa maombi tofauti. But I'm a proponent of vaccination. If you see how the stadiums are full in the European countries and all that, if that's the way to beat this vice so that we go back to normal, we need to go back to normal as fast as possible. So it's up to, I would say the government needs to prioritize vaccinating a huge population of this country. You know, any adult needs to be vaccinated. So that we go back to normal and business goes back to normal. Right now, the amount of capital just lying or underutilized facilities in the hotel space or anything is just devastating, and it's actually killing your economy. So let's go on I would encourage anyone who can get access to vaccination, they get vaccinated, so that we see how we beat this thing. The sooner we do, the better it is for our economy, the better it is for our own health.
But sasa bro, ukisema tufunge, unasema una watch Premier League.
Yeah.
Mechikifanyia venye mastadia zinajaa.
Yeah.
Watu walishasonga na hii kitu. As in, we moved 2 years down the line. Hatuwezi kuwa tunafungia tu wananchi hivi kama makondoms.
Hao wanasonga kwa nini? Wanasonga kwa sababu ya vaccine.
Ushapiga vaccine, ndio mavaccine.
Ndio nasema
sasa ujamaa bana wachangamke na vaccine.
Hiyo
fungia kama kondo hivi bro.
Hiyo ndio solution. Sio kufungua tu. Unajua pia kuna level of responsibility. It's not what people want to hear. But if I was a father and I needed to, because inataka tu tufungue economy na najua watoto wangu watakuwa exposed to something, there's some things you do as a parent that the children don't like, but you have to do. So for me, this is one of those. But most importantly, as a father, I shouldn't just sit back and just fungia my mtoi. I should look for the remedy now. I go out and look for the vaccine so that everyone is vaccinated. We go back to normal and businesses are back. Watu wana mask na wamejaa study. Wewe can imagine sasa tuende sokoni tupige biashara kama kitu kingine. That's what needs to happen.
Asema sheria itaki hasira. Alright, kuna maswali hapa. There's someone called James on YouTube. James Kiptama sama, hi Gerald, does PEPTANG buy fruits from local farmers? Are there particular crops they need or you can advise to grow?
Yeah. So we buy most of our fruits. I mean, almost all our fruits from the local farmers. So we do mangoes, for example. So we have a crushing plant for our mangoes, which goes to make the squashes, the pep squash, and the Orchid Valley juices, range of juices. So we buy from all over the country. You know, kama ni Pokot, kama ni Ukambani, uko Makueni, kama ni Shimba Hills, wherever, coast. You know, we buy a lot of mangoes. We do. What we need actually, and I would want most of the people who are asking to do a research, is on yellow passion. Yellow passion, we don't get enough supply.
Yellow passion.
We don't use the purple one, we use yellow passion. Because I think of the acidity levels, there's something, yeah? So if I would encourage, if you can be able to plant yellow passion, we'll take like the whole crop. Because we have market locally, we have market internationally. Using for our own juices as well, and selling to a few other producers here, but there is not enough yellow passion to be able to create the passion pulp for using in juices. So we also buy tomatoes. So lots of the time, talk or farmers around, bring.
Kuna jamaa amesema ndio kuleta nyanya kabisa.
Ndio kuleta nyanya. Yeah, so get in touch. Anakuja tu and get in touch with our procurement team. They'll show them the quality of the tomatoes we use. Agree on pricing. Then what one's a biashara? Namna gani? Chape job. We do strawberries for strawberry jams and things like that. Nini ingine myriads of other ukiangalia tu enda kwa shelf uangalie Peptang uangalie imeandikwa kama imeandikwa fruit fulani
ingredients enda shambani
chapa kazi
haya kama ni mkulima enda kwa counter zunguka supermarket zingine si lazima enda pale supermarket ununue juice ya products yote ya House of Peptang peleke pale uanze kusoma ingredients pole pole alafu uchague moja ambayo unaweza kupenda mpaka njugu haya nimeona watu wako wamefika kina Alice Choge anasema kitos bit for supporting my brother asante sana ameweka mapenzi kabisa amesema asante kuna kijana anajiita Senge Helena huyu kijana anajikaza kaza is an upcoming comedian from the North Rift anasema wewe ni msem great sana asante sana Senge Helena Nicholas Chepkwa anasema proud of you Joseph M Choge kuna watu wanajua majina yote Nicholas Chepkwa anasema proud of you Joseph M Choge good job asante sana Kimbit Nikao anasema good job brother Choge a very humble man like you brother I wish I was around the office I would have liked to say hi to him haya watu walikuwa wanapenda kukusalimia umesalimiwa pia na huyu Sengela anasema msalimie Choge sana pokea salamu yao ngwana there's something I was trying to pick here Mutai K Eric says this is the next Julius Kimngetich amen Amen again. Hallelujah. But now he'll be greater. He'll be a greater man. Then I'll also be the next Choge. Phil Chumba anasema candid talk, really inspiring. Keep soaring, Jose.
Thank you. I know that guy. That's Phil, eh?
Phil Chumba anasema bana endelea kusonga. Right. Let me see if there's anything that's trying to pick what could be really done. I think I've picked that. A lot of comments here, guys. Because of time, I might not be able to read each one of it, but I can see you, Mutahirik. I can see Rosemary Kabugi, and I'm a good show. Asante sana. I can see all these guys on the timeline. And the comments zimesonga zimekuwa mingi kidogo. Anyway, as we finish up, what's your tackle of the day? What's your parting shot?
So my
utupea kazi bwana.
Utupea kazi
Utupea kazi bwana. So serikali itupea kazi, utupea kazi.
So like I said earlier.
Utupea kazi.
Like I said earlier.
Nataka tuone juice kwa emails.
Like I said earlier. We've taken a deliberate effort to support the local content creators. Yeah. And if you go to various platforms you'll see what we've done with the different teams, which has been fantastic. And I mean, bringing more on board shouldn't be a problem. And it's all about what I normally say is, Gerald, come and give me a value proposition. Yeah. Nakupa unanipa.
Hey, maze nimepata kazi wa bwana. Mimi nimeona kazi.
It's a question of what when it's all said and done, it's business. So there's a question of return on investment at any point in time. So that's what I would encourage anyone in the business space to always look at and see what value they can be able to create for the other party. And it becomes a win-win.
It's a give and take, yes.
It's a give and take. For me, I would tell everyone listening today, it's tough times. And tough times calls for resilience, for us to rise to the occasion and be able to take up the challenges as they come. Do you reinvent yourself? Do you innovate around the tough times? Are you a better person than you were before Rona hit? That should be the question that you ask yourself. Have you found new vocations to do, new hobbies to enjoy during this period of time? There'll be stress. Some people have lost jobs as a result, but we have to keep the faith alive. And as we continue requesting for more people to get vaccinated, government to support the initiatives, we need to also hustle on our own end. Business is about hustling, is about thinking and doing the math. Just don't go blindly. You have to do the math and see whether it makes business sense for you to do whatever it is that you want to do. As the House of Peptang, we appreciate what you do for us, the support. Every time I say you pick that product, if it's the sauce, it's the juice, or peanut butter, jam, you name it. every coin, as it trickles down all the way to the farmer down there, which is the, supports the next probably Joseph or the next you to be able to, create greater leaders tomorrow. And our mamas can be able to take our kids to, and parents can be able to take kids to school. And let's be part of the chain, the value chain, and support. So from breakfast to dinner, think PEPTANG.
Higher. So pep. See anything that peps. Anything that peps. That peps. All right. Pep. Higher. PEPTANG, pep juice, pep what, pep, everything.
Yes.
All right. Thank you so much, Chage, for coming. And after somebody solutions to a dynamic world by a dynamic guy, James Keter CHOGE. Kama huyo ndugu yako kama
My eldest bro.
Jemo Keter CHOGE. Naona shatokezea. Just to look some very inspiring show today, Gerald Bitok. CHOGE is an ordinary guy doing extraordinary stuff. It's been a pleasure having you, sir. It's an honor, honestly, having you. And we hope you're going to interact more in the coming days, and we try to create value.
Absolutely.
Tujenge, tukijengana. Now that was Joseph CHOGE, CEO, Premier Force or House of PEPTANG. I think it's easier to say that, House of PEPTANG. Everything that has a pep on the shelves comes from him. There's the innovation around it. I saw something interesting. Guys, you could be actually munching Mokimoni away on the road. What is something that you've been looking out for? So I'm sorry if I bust your bubble too hardly. But I appreciate how you guys are so innovative. What is that surprise that you should be waiting for?
Yeah, good things in store. We keep innovating every day. Like we had Githeri in a can. Why not bring Mokimo in a can?
Wow. Why not?
Why not have some instant rice so that when you're in the office, you don't have to move. Sisi tunakuletea hapo, unaweka tu kwa microwave na
unasonga
nayo mbele.
Kwanza majamaa wetu the millennials wa microwave. Toka unakafungua githeri yako, unaweka hapo, unasonga nayo. Sika kuna story masufuria. Unamaliza kula hiyo sahani kamoja, unaosha haraka unasonga, unaenda unalala.
Energy drink hivi. Just watch the space.
You never know. Hata ugali inaweza kuwa kwa mkebe.
By the way, sembe inakam.
Sembe
Waluya niko na nyinyi.
Lakini walo yangu sijui utapackage wapi. Sembe moja itakuwa na bebo na lori.
Vitu heavy.
Kama jamaa wangu. Wako Western bwana.
Sembe. Kwa jamaa anaitwa Edu. Angote. Sembe anashika kama ule ugali man.
Anafina mpaka inakuwa unga.
Mpaka inakuwa
maji inaisha.
Coming yeah. So, it's a question of I've even been thinking. Na mtu anatapita na hiyo idea. Unajua sisi tumetoka inaitwa mursik.
Mursik.
Yaani inaitwa yogurt charcoal flavor.
Bas.
Why not? Mtu alikuja kutoka sijui ni UK ama alikuwa China inaitwa patent kiondo. Ikaenda. Hivi vitu kama kina mursika, kina mokimo nini? Somebody needs to do something about it. It might not be PEPTANG, it could be you, wherever you are. Let's just create value out of our own. Out of our
we keep the challenge going.
We keep the challenge going.
So kama kuna mtu anafikiri anaweza piga CHOGE challenge, piga product yako tuone. Lakini hata yeye amesema kuna ma surprises kibao zinakuja. So until then we'll keep waiting. There is a former colleague here from Ananjeri. Anasema kudos my former colleague, keep it real.
That insurance company, the initial.
Marulianza. The later you guys are what a show safi. Asante sana. Thank you guys, it's been a pleasure having you. Thank you so much, CHOGE, for honoring the invite.
My pleasure.
Let's keep this going. Let's keep the conversation going. And I'm sure, I believe, there's something I believe in. The world will change, a conversation at a time.
Yes.
The more we keep talking about these things, the better the world becomes. Until tomorrow, State of the Nation, up to you guys. This has been the Talk, and it ends now. Bye-bye and take care. We love you.
Thank you. Bye.